Most transatlantic jets cost $70 million or more. This one does the same mission for around $22 million pre-owned and outperforms the jets twice its price. This is the Dassault Falcon 2000LXS. Let's get into it. Performance and range. The Falcon 2000LXS was built to solve a very specific problem. How do you give operators genuine transatlantic capability without the operating costs of an ultra-long-range behemoth? Dassault's answer is one of the most refined twin-engine jets in the large cabin category. Power comes from two Pratt & Whitney Canada PW308C engines, each delivering 7,000 pounds of thrust. These are proven, low-maintenance power plants with a strong track record across the Falcon 2000 family. And their efficiency is a core reason why the LXS delivers some of the lowest operating costs in its class. Every dollar of fuel goes further in this aircraft than in most of its direct competitors. At cruise, the Falcon 2000LXS settles into approximately 528 miles per hour, quick enough to make the most of any transatlantic window. At that pace, you're covering more than 8 miles every minute at altitude, and the top end comes in at around 558 miles per hour, putting it comfortably ahead of several large cabin rivals. But the number that defines this aircraft is its range, 4,000 nautical miles at long-range cruise with typical payload. That translates to approximately 4,600 miles in straight-line distance. In practical terms, it connects New York to London, London to Dubai, or Los Angeles to Reykjavik, without a fuel stop. These are routes that typically belong to aircraft costing twice as much. The LXS climbs to 47,000 feet, higher than most commercial traffic, and reaches cruise altitude faster than its competitors thanks in part to innovative leading-edge slats that reduce drag by up to 7%. That same aerodynamic refinement is what gives the LXS roughly 200 miles of additional range compared to the earlier LX variant. On the ground, this jet requires approximately 4,900 feet for takeoff, notably shorter than most jets in its range class. That opens up access to a wider range of airports, including shorter regional strips that heavier long-range jets simply cannot use. If your mission sometimes includes smaller airfields, that matters enormously. In raw performance, the Falcon 2000LXS punches well above its price point. The question is whether the rest of the aircraft lives up to it. Raw performance is one thing, but wait until you see what Dassault built into the cabin at this price point. Exterior design. The Falcon 2000LXS carries Dassault's signature design language. Clean, purposeful, unmistakably French. There's nothing flashy about the silhouette, and that's entirely intentional. This is an aircraft that communicates quiet confidence rather than loudness. The kind of presence that belongs at a private terminal in Geneva or Teterboro without drawing unnecessary attention. The most distinctive exterior feature is the winglet configuration, developed in partnership with aviation partners. These winglets aren't decorative. They deliver measurable efficiency gains, and enabling the aircraft to climb directly to flight level 410, the result is a cleaner aerodynamic profile that looks elegant precisely because it works. 18 oversized cabin windows line the fuselage, giving the exterior a bright, open feel that hints at what waits inside. The overall stance on the ramp is that of an aircraft that knows exactly what it is. A serious long-range machine dressed in the understated elegance that Dassault has always delivered. Cabin. Step aboard, and the first thing you notice is the light. 18 large windows flood the cabin with natural illumination in a way that feels almost residential. At 7 feet 8 inches wide and 6 feet 2 inches tall, the Falcon 2000LXS cabin is wider than most competing large cabin jets, wide enough to seat 3 across in genuine comfort, and tall enough for virtually every passenger to stand without ducking. The cabin runs 31 feet in usable length, typically configured for 8 to 10 passengers across a forward club seating area and a rear lounge zone. Most owners opt for an 8-passenger layout that allows true flatbed seat conversion. a critical feature on overnight transatlantic legs. What sets this cabin apart for its price point is the environmental quality. Cabin altitude is maintained at 6,000 feet, even while cruising at 47,000, which means passengers arrive far less fatigued than they would on a typical pressurized aircraft. Combined with one of the quietest cabins in this class, advanced soundproofing keeps ambient noise genuinely low. The result is a rest-quality environment on long flights. Dassault's Falcon Connect system delivers high-speed internet and voice calls throughout the cabin, keeping passengers productive on transatlantic routes. The cabin makes a strong case, but the real question is what this aircraft costs to own. Cockpit. The Falcon 2000LXS is equipped with Honeywell's EASY-2 avionics suite, Dassault's award-winning flight management interface that has become a benchmark in business aviation. Rather than confronting pilots with a wall of switches, EASY-2 organizes flight management around natural task flow, reducing cognitive load and making high workload phases of flight significantly more manageable. The flight deck can be optionally equipped with Falcon Eye, Dassault's combined vision system that merges synthetic and enhanced vision into a single display. This gives crews unprecedented situational awareness in low visibility conditions, with guidance available down to 100 feet on approach, before the runway is visually acquired. It's a genuine safety differentiator, particularly for operations into shorter or mountainous airfields. For most owner-operators, the Easy-to cockpit is among the most approachable in the large cabin category. Transition training is straightforward, and the system's logic has been refined over decades of operational feedback. Costs and pricing. New, the Falcon 2000LXS lists at approximately $35 million. Most leave the factory closer to $36 to $38 million after options, avionics upgrades, and custom interiors. The video's focus, however, is the pre-owned market, where well-maintained examples from the mid-20 teens are available for approximately $20 to $24 million, depending on airframe hours, engine program enrollment, and avionics spec. Annual fixed costs for the 2000LXS run approximately $850,000 to $1 million. That covers 2 professional pilots at roughly $270,000 combined, including benefits, insurance at approximately $70,000 to $90,000 annually, hangar fees averaging $40,000 to $60,000, and manufacturer maintenance program enrollment covering airframe and engines. The Pratt & Whitney ESP Gold Engine program is particularly popular among LXS owners for its cost predictability. Variable costs, what you spend each time you actually fly, average approximately $4,700 to $5,200 per flight hour, with fuel representing the largest portion at around 266 gallons per hour. At a typical annual utilization of 300 to 400 flight hours, total annual operating costs settle between $1.5 and $2 million. That annual cost figure, combined with a $22 million acquisition price, is where the value case for this aircraft becomes genuinely compelling. Competitors with similar range and cabin volume can cost $30 million more to acquire and significantly more per year to operate. For operators who fly transatlantic routes regularly and don't need the marketing cachet of an ultra-long-range nameplate, the Falcon 2000LXS makes a hard argument to ignore. The Falcon 2000LXS is one of the most undervalued aircraft in business aviation. Serious range, a genuinely comfortable cabin, and ownership costs that make the math work. Which aircraft surprised you most this week? Check out our G800 versus Falcon 10X head-to-head click right here. See you there.